Hello, Transformers fans. It is Speedball Harlan today for you guys. I have you from the brand Blokees, and returning once more in the third volume of the line. This is, of course, the Transformers Galaxy Versions Generation 1 blind box set. Now, for those who, of course, just heard me, yes, this set you see here in the previous two volumes and such have all been blind box units. So, under normal circumstances, if you bought this at a store or something, yes, you wouldn't know which character you'd get until, of course, you unboxed it and such. But I can tell you, if you are wondering, if you purchase the box set like I do, you will most likely get all the volumes characters without any duplicates, at least from my experience. So keep that in mind. So yes, this is the third volume, my friends, and if you haven't seen the other two volumes, please check them out. I have done the videos on them, and once again, I will say I definitely had fun with these models once more because it is always such fun sets Blokees have been doing between their movie kits and their G1 sets. These have been so much fun to collect because they're easy to build, easy to collect an entire army of. I know this. I have an almost entire shelf now full of these, and they're just so much fun because you never know which characters are going to pop up in the following volume. And speaking of that, the one fun tab to notice with the boxes here for individually is that whenever you open one of these, not only do you of course get the character in question, you also get a preview of the next volume's line of characters. And in this case, which definitely surprised both me and a number of fans, is we are finally getting G1 Shockwave, which I'm not gonna lie, I totally figured we were gonna get him, especially if we got Soundwave and such. But I totally did not at all expect to see Ultra Magnus. Now, here comes the interesting detail I'm about to mention because we actually get Ultra Magnus in this volume. That is so cool. I love it. And of course, if you don't know, this is the cab Ultra Magnus, the truck Ultra Magnus, the non-super buff armored Ultra Magnus, however you prefer to call it, my friends. But I do like this version. A lot of fans and friends I've talked to enjoy this version because he comes with this epic battle axe. This thing's awesome. And yes, if you haven't already noticed, yes, this is just a recolor of their Optimus Prime figure, which I have right here for you to take a look at so you can see the differences. And pretty much the only major differences are the windows and the weapons, because he does come with the same ion cannon, but I decided to display him with his axe because this is an exclusive weapon to him. You don't get any that with this Optimus or any of the other free versions of Optimus, only with Ultra Magnus here. So yeah, I definitely like that part about this. But back to what I was stating a minute ago about this preview for the cartoon accurate Ultra Magnus, or the full armor Ultra Magnus, however you prefer. Once again, it's going to be so interesting to see that, because the part that now I am interested in knowing, especially for the next volume, is now that we are getting the cartoon accurate Ultra Magnus, does that mean we will start seeing characters from seasons 3 and 4? And I mention that because from volumes 1, 2, and 3 of the Galaxy version sets you see here, all the characters they picked from both bots and cons have had one common fact just in common, and that is that they have all been characters from seasons 1 and 2 of Generation 1. So, but since Ultra Magnus is being added to the line, which, as we all know, he appears in the Generations 1's movie and onward, does this indicate that the Galaxy set's going to start adding characters from the movie and so on, meaning we might start seeing Hot Rod, Rodimus, Cup, Springer, Galvatron, Cyclonus, and so on. And if that is the case, that would be so awesome to see. I really want to see some of the other characters. And honestly, I would love to see what they might do if we get like Headmaster characters, Target Masters, and so forth, because those would be interesting to see how they pull those ones off. As into like if they come with like a weapon gimmick or some fun little gimmick like that. But yes, besides all that, my friends, yes, these are fun to collect. And the last two volumes have especially been fun to collect because, if you aren't already well aware and haven't noticed in this display here, there are a selection of characters here that you're going to want full sets of. And that is, of course, the Constructicons you see here, and our good buddy Dinobot Slag, of course, been renamed for reasons. And yes, that is one of the reasons why I really like this set now, especially because now that we have the Volume 3 set, we are only one more set away from completing the entire Constructicon team, which I am totally stoked for, because I have hopes that Blokees will decide to do a separate Devastator figure release so you can have that displayed with the Constructicon team. And if that does work out, we might see other combiner sets like that, and I would really like that because that'd just be so much fun to have as a display. And of course, with the Dinobots is another fun fact, because we should be getting all 5 of the members. And as you, of course, can see here, we not only get the bots, we get the dinos as well. Literally, you will get both versions in each volume of whatever Dinobot they're doing. So in the first volume we got was our good buddy and leader of the Dinobots, Grimlock, to go with our buddy Slag. And I do love that part. I do hope we get the full set. And I do love the fact that Blokees has been doing an interesting setup for their Beast line of characters, as into any bot or con that utilizes a Beast alt mode and such, meaning that we not only do we get the bot form, we actually get their alt Beast mode as well. So there's so many possibilities we can do now with that kind of gimmick. One being is that I'm hoping we'll see other combiner teams like the Predacons, Terracons, and so forth. That means we can get their beasts with their bot modes. And for those who might now, of course, ask, do these transform? Because obviously, someone might ask. No, of course, as you can tell, no, they don't. I just figured to mention that now because of the fact that you see that you do can get alt mode units with the main unit as well. But honestly, because of the size and the articulation gimmick design, I don't know. There's no way these could transform now. But honestly, I'm okay with that because honestly, I just like the fact that they're posable, they're accurate, and in the cases like the Dinobots and stuff, you can have both versions. So I'm okay with that. Plus, it's just something I've always known with model kit lines and Transformers is that I don't know 100% if this is correct. This is just a theory I've always had. It just seems like whatever brand Hasbro teams up with for models, it just there must be a clause or something with the contracting agreements is that whatever character they're utilizing to make a model of, they can of course use, but the character in question or the model kit release at all cannot have some type of alt mode gimmick. Now, of course, I could be wrong on that. Like I said, that's just a theory I've always had. But yes, but back to the whole line now. This has been a fun line, guys, adding so many new characters. And of course, you will probably notice some other new characters to this set that has been really fun to get. One I know some might like is our good buddy Sideswipe. I've been waiting to get this one, honestly, because we don't get many G1 versions of Sideswipe as much as I would probably like. And of course, I love the fact that now he's in model form. It's really cool to have him in his plausible playway. And it's really epic because not only that, but we also got redalert, which I'm not going to lie, this is one of the reasons I like the line of Blokees because they always decide to pick not just the popular characters, they always have the tendency of picking out some of them like smaller and obscure characters we don't get too much attention for. And I do love the fact that we have the G1 style at redalert because if you got Volume 2 by chance, you will also get Inferno, which we all both know that the team, that these two would make a great team, and it's awesome to have them together now. I love it, and that's why I like this kind of gimmick line because that means we'll probably see other character versions of like Sideswipe and redalert. So I'm hoping in the next volume we might see Sunstreaker because I'm assuming they would probably reuse this design mold to make him because they're not 100% accurate to their alt mode designs and so forth. But then again, we've got other characters in this brand that all share the same body mold, though had different alt modes in the show, like Bumblebee here. We all know he's a punch buggy, but him and the Cliff Jumper release we have both share the same body frame, body parts, and so forth, minus these new feet that he gets specifically. But that's what's so much fun. I love it because there's so many characters we can get now and so forth. So yeah, it has been a fun line, guys. I can't wait for the next volume because I have some guesses to what we will see and such. But before we get into any of that stuff, you might be wondering articulation and such real quick. So I'll use Bumblebee here. Yes, they all have ball joints, shoulders. So of course 360 with no problem. They all share the same elbow and knee joints, so they can all go flex like that with no problem. They all also, of course, share the same type of hands, just different colors. And yeah, you could do ball joints all the way around. And in some cases, certain characters might come with special hands like Bumblebee did and like Ultra Magnus here does and Megatron and so forth. But other than that, all the other ones share the exact same hand, which you will also have leftovers of, just a heads up, and such. And legs can go about that far. Feet, depending, can wiggle around a good percent depending on which unit. And heads are, of course, on ball joints, so that's an easy spin. And the waists are pretty much all the same in some cases, though that's, of course, not including molds like Slag or Grimlock or any other beast versions, just so you have the idea. But it is awesome to see what they can do together and what we could see in the future because I have so much hope for certain characters to get a release for and just versions of. I mean, we might even start seeing some Shattered Glass volumes, maybe. I'm guessing on that one, guys. I mean, I could see that. I could. But, it's just a guess. And also another notable thing is that, as you can see right here, I can't promise, but as I have seen, certain characters might come with an Energon Cube, because I have been getting these now with certain characters and just certain sets. And such for this one, I got this one with Bumblebee, so you might also get it with a Bumblebee figure if you get it. I can't promise, that just seems to be the case. I mean, my last volume, I didn't get pink Energon Cubes, I got clear Energon Cubes from the Volume 2 set. So I don't know if there was a difference there, I'm not sure. That's the only thing I don't know about these sets is the Energon Cube gimmick. It just seems to be a new thing they're adding into the lines, so just a heads up. But another notable thing to note is that in every volume, there is at least one character that they will select that will get a special figure exclusive recolor. But understand it is not guaranteed in every volume set you might pick up or individual, and that would be, in this case, Soundwave was this wave's special release as into a metallic release, which was a really awesome. Honestly, this was just a lucky pull for me. It is so cool to have this version of him. I love it. And as you can see, he comes in all his G1 classic design, his epic decals. awesome details to the chest. And yes, as you can obviously see right here, he comes with Laserbeak. That is so cool. And yes, you can detach Laserbeak and attach them to other bots because it's just this peg attachment that all the characters here do have the peg hole for. So if you have a Megatron figure, you could attach them to this. Just saying. But I just like having them with Soundwave. And if you are curious, yes, he has the chest door gimmick and the cassette does come out. I just don't want to take them out right now. But that is so cool. I love it because he's this small, but he has so many fun G1 gimmicks. I love it. And I have high hopes, or at least some hopes, that if we get other recolors like Sound Blaster or even his Shattered Glass version or just other special edition versions to Soundwave, that we might get a Ravage, Rumble, and Frenzy sets to go with, because if they do, I would totally add them to this one. I just love it. But just so you know, though, like I mentioned, this version you see here is the special version you could pull out of the volume. But if not, your version will probably, of course, look like the one you see on the box out here in the standard blue and gray colors, just so you know. And yeah. So yeah, really that's about it for the volume, guys. Do I recommend this? Yes. And as I was mentioning before about other details and such, my next volume guesses, of course, as I've already shown you, will of course include Ultra Magnus and Shockwave. That was just an obvious. And hopefully the remaining 2 Constructicons and the next Dinobot to join this team, which, if I had to guess, if we're going like a chronological order kind of deal, maybe Sludge. But if we're going in like a popularity order, probably Swoop would be my best guesses. Other than those ones I just mentioned, I don't know what the remaining ones will be, because I know that this month we're supposed to be seeing more on the new Legendary Edition model, which is supposed to be a new Optimus, a G1 Optimus release. But it's really cool looking because it's got more details, and it looks like it's going to have new joints compared to the ones you see here and such. So it's going to be interesting to check out, guys. So lastly, would I recommend the Volume 3 Galaxy version set to you guys? Yes, if you're an army builder, a collector, or just want something on a desk or something to play around with, these are definitely for that. I can recommend that entirely, especially if you already have the other volumes. Then you can, of course, team up your collection with the previous ones to make the full Autobot and Decepticon versus warfare. Oh, I love that. I can't wait to see what comes next, guys. So that will be about it for today, guys. So I thank you always for coming. I hope you're all enjoying your hobby, and I will see you all later.